On Wednesday, May 28, newly sworn-in Defence Minister David McGuinty gave an address to kick off the 2025 CANSEC Exhibition. For the newly minted Defence Minister, this was something of an introductory speech to the entire Canadian defence community. He made some comments that were music to the ears of those in attendance.
We're moving quickly to ensure our military has the tools to defend our country and continent, while remaining an engaged, reliable partner abroad.
However, it is time to target how much stock to put into promises made on defence investment made by Canadian politicians. For those outside of Canadian military circles, CANSEC is the largest annual defence and security trade show in Canada. Held at the sprawling EY Centre in Ottawa, organizers claim that this year's CANSEC attracted over 12,000 industry, military, and government delegates from Canada and around the world. This group included more than 600 VIPs and over 40 international delegations. The attraction was the weaponry, vehicles, and munitions on display in 280 exhibitor booths. McGuinty was only appointed to his current post when recently elected Prime Minister Mark Carney named his cabinet on May 13. Thus, McGuinty's breakfast speech at CANSEC was highly anticipated as a stage setter for the roughly 1,000 defense industry executives and senior military officers in attendance. In the interest of full disclosure, I was in attendance that morning, and I have attended every CANSEC show since the exhibition was first held in 1998. I can honestly say that in those 27 years, the mood at CANSEC among the gathered arms dealers was the most optimistic by far. There is definitely blood in the water, to use a shark analogy, as everyone realizes that the Canadian Armed Forces are in dire need of just about every weapon platform you can imagine.
Canada was meant to be the 51st state.
There's also the worrying commentary from U.S. President Donald Trump threatening to annex Canada. In bowing to Trump's pressure, Carney made the election promises to bring Canada's defense spending up from the current 1.3% of our gross domestic product to 2% of GDP sooner rather than later. Carney also ordered a review of the ongoing F-35 fighter jet purchase with a view to seeking non-American defense suppliers in the future. McGinty's speechwriters are to be given full credit as they realized this venue at this juncture was a key opportunity to build bridges with those who supply the CAF with gear.
This work can only be done in partnership with you.
Where McGuinty really won over the room was when he discussed the possible timeline.
Your government is moving to take immediate and decisive action to rebuild Canada's defence capacity, rearm the Canadian Armed Forces, and invest in the Canadian defence industry.
The word immediate was the most discussed issue among the attending delegates for the remainder of the two-day exhibition. Many were buoyed at the prospect of a Liberal government finally cutting through the Gordian's knot of bureaucracy that reduces Canadian military procurement to that of a snail's pace. However, more keen-eyed attendees realized that in the wake of McGuinty using the word immediate, the minister actually made no further decisive announcement. For those of us that have become accustomed to hearing words and not witnessing deeds from successive Liberal and Conservative governments, McGuinty's failure to make an immediate action in the wake of using that particular word speaks volumes. Fast forward to Thursday, June the 5th, wherein McGuinty was attending a defense ministers' meeting at NATO headquarters in Brussels. In response to questions from the European media, McGuinty backed away from the word immediate.
Canada is revisiting all of its expenditures presently. Our government is already very hard at work. There will be more to say very soon.
All of this is in advance of the NATO Leaders Summit, which will take place at the end of the month in the Netherlands. It is widely expected that many of our allies are seeking to raise the current NATO spending objective to 5% of GDP. With Canada flailing and stumbling to get to the 2% benchmark, suddenly we're looking at more than tripling our current defense expenditure. As Charlie Brown would say, good grief. This has been On Target. I'm Scott Taylor.